the last video I promised you guys I'd be posting before No Way Home comes out, and I did it! And also, I've got a couple extra videos I've got planned for this week before I see No Way Home on Thursday. More about that at the end of the video, but right now I am reviewing Eternals. Saw Eternals once, right around when it came out, so that means that I haven't seen it in just over a month now. I'm hoping I didn't forget too much. So to start off, for a quick non-spoiler review, what did I think of Eternals? I really liked it, but it's definitely not at the top of my list. Honestly, compared to the rest of the MCU movies, it's probably gonna end up in my bottom 10. But you have to keep in mind what we're comparing it to here, because most MCU movies are like top tier movies, so it's hard to get to the top of that list. Eternals was just very different from other MCU movies, which different isn't bad, but it felt long at times. But I did really like the characters in the story. And now for the spoilery details. Let's start with what I really liked. I really liked all of the characters. That's something I feel like this film did really well. It fleshed out all of the Eternals so we could get to know all of these characters, and there's so many of them. Honestly, that may be one of the reasons why the movie's so long, because it had so many characters to introduce us to, but I ended up really liking most of them. It's hard to pick a favorite character from the film because they're all so good. I really liked Kingo. He and Patel were hilarious. Very great comic relief, and I really loved the personality there, and I'm really glad that he showed up fairly early on and was there for a majority of the film. I also really loved Druig. His character was a lot less dark than I expected it to be, considering what his powers were. I really love how he was portrayed, and I really liked the relationship dynamic between him and Makkari, who, by the way, I also really loved Makkari. Her character was cool too. It was really cool to see representation of the deaf community in a superhero film. I minored in ASL in college, and so I really appreciate the deaf community, so it was fun to see a deaf superhero. Back to Druig. Oh my gosh, I was so shocked when they tried to like convince us, the audience, that he died. It's like suddenly and he's gone. What happened to him? But then he was back. Oh my gosh, I would have been so mad if they killed him off like that. I also really liked Phastos. I think his power is my favorite out of all of the Eternals powers. Probably because I always like the more nerdy stuff, and he's basically like a magic engineer. But I liked his character and his powers, so he was definitely one of my favorites too. Thena's character was really well done too. Her power was really cool, and I really enjoyed watching her fight. But then it was also interesting to see the complexity in her character, because she's the one who had like all of these memories that were confusing her, and you know, all of the madness, or what, I can't remember what they called it in the film. And Dane Whitman was great too. I honestly forgot about the whole Black Knight thing until the end credit scene was rolling, and I'm like, oh wait, I know who this guy is! But his character in this movie as like the normal person who gets kind of involved with all the crazy stuff that's happening was good, and I really liked his relationship with Cersei. And speaking of the post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene, I said the same thing about Ben Kingsley being in Shang-Chi. I don't know how I made it all the way to the theater without even catching any wind of Harry Styles being in Eternals. Once I recognized him, I was kind of surprised, but I'm intrigued to see him in the MCU in the future. Now for the rest of the characters that maybe I didn't love quite as much. I feel like we didn't really get quite enough of Ajax for me to love her. A lot of it is because obviously we start out the main portion of the film and she's already dead. But I mean, she was pretty cool. Same with Gilgamesh, honestly, since he dies a little bit earlier on. I feel like I didn't get enough to him to really love his character, and I honestly can't remember that much about him. Sprite was alright. Her powers were super cool, but she wasn't my favorite. And Cersei was a little boring, kind of cookie cutter, I guess. I know a lot of people have said the same thing, where, I mean, she's good, but she's not really anyone's favorite. Like, she was fine, but she didn't stand out compared to the rest of the Eternals. Icarus, I mean, I liked. He was terrible, but in a good way, so I guess I didn't include him with the characters I really loved because I hate him now. I did like him at the beginning, you know, until it was revealed that he killed Ajax. That was honestly a great twist that I did not see coming. Apparently all along he knew that everyone on Earth was going to be killed to make way for this new Celestial, and it turns out he was actually just trying to distract everyone from stopping the emergence the whole time. Regarding Icarus ending up being kind of like the bad guy in the end, it makes sense that with so many characters in the Eternals cast, that one of the good guys would actually be the bad guy. It makes sense that they would be fighting each other in the end. But actually going into it, I thought that Druig would be the bad guy, kind kind of just because of what his powers were. But in the end, it was Icarus, who, I mean, to be honest, is pretty OP, so it makes sense. Now, after I spent like my whole time talking about the characters, a few quick more things. I did really like the story. Like, the overall plot I thought was interesting. It had some good twists. The whole celestial emergence killing everyone on Earth was a good idea for the whole, like, main conflict. And yeah, I mentioned I really liked the twist, like with Icarus being bad. Also, I liked the whole twist that the Eternals aren't really the good guys because they're gonna supposedly help kill off everyone on Earth, but that they decide that the lives of everyone on Earth is more important, and when they realize they want to change in order to stop the emergence and instead preserve the lives of everyone on Earth. My main complaint is what I mentioned before about the movie feeling long. Like, the film itself was just very long. I think I recall hearing that it's like the second longest MCU movie just out of all of them. But the film just being long isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's the fact that it felt long at times. Like, there were just a few times when I was in the theater watching it and I stopped and thought, wow, this is long. And you don't want to be thinking that in the theater. I mean, I guess that just means there were a few parts where it was just feeling long and it was losing my interest and not quite as captivating, but I think there were a lot of really good parts and I liked the story overall. So anyway, those are my main thoughts on Eternals. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Eternals and we can have a fun little discussion down there. In case you didn't catch this in my Shang-Chi video yesterday, I have added a couple more videos to my queue for this week. Right now, the plan is I've got this one posting on Sunday, maybe kind of technically Monday if it's posted after midnight. Hopefully not, so I'm not staying up too late. But tomorrow, Monday, I will be posting a Secrets of Dumbledore trailer reaction, hopefully around lunchtime. On Tuesday, I'll be taking a break, but on Wednesday, I will be posting some predictions for Spider-Man No Way Home. Thursday's another break because that's when I'm going to see Spider-Man No Way Home. And then on Friday, I will be posting a review of No Way Home. Anyway, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of those videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, which you can do down there. Check out more of my videos. Up top, I've got my last review, which was on Shang-Chi. And underneath that is my playlist of all my Marvel videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!